What's going on? It's your boy Sermon, sermonsdomain.com.
What's going on? It's Reese, marsupialempire.com.
Today we're here to talk about Yelawolf's long-awaited sophomore album, Love Story. It's interesting because, you know, Radioactive, which was his debut, you know, was kind of commercially a fail.
Yeah.
It wasn't that good. I mean, it had some good songs on it. I'm not going to knock it. But in terms of being an album that, you know, sold a lot, especially up to, like, you know, the Interscope Shady, you know, the stuff that they put out.
I'm surprised that he, I'm surprised they're not doing more to put him out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because everybody else Shady Records is out there.
Well, I feel like Yelawolf is like, he's more underground, but he has a big fan base. He just happens to be on a major label.
He definitely has a big fan base. If he were to come do a show here, I'm sure he'd sell out.
He's doing Showbox Soda, which is 1,500 people.
Oh, is he really? When?
Yeah, June. But I was very impressed with this album. Was very impressed because I didn't know what to expect. You know, for like the past couple of years, I've given Yelawolf a chance. You know, but I feel like he was moving in a different direction. Like when Trunk Music came out, that's what I really liked. That's what I gravitated towards. But after he dropped Radioactive, he started doing, you know, more like country stuff and experimenting. He
talks about that too in the music.
Yeah, he did projects with Travis Barker, DJ Paul, and I want to say he just did like a regular EP, something else. And
Eminem has to stop producing. I'm sorry. Eminem has to stop producing tracks. I don't know why anybody ever let him behind the boards. I was like, yo, produce that.
Nah, Heartbreak is good. Eminem co-produced Heartbreak with Luis Resto. That was a pretty good record. Yeah. Go ahead.
Just as far as in producing. Now, I do like, I don't know, like I was saying to you before, I feel like this was going to have a different, I felt it was going to be more centered, like more centrally themed. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I heard Love Story, and I listened to the first track, Outer Space, and I kind of heard like how, it kind of reminded me of Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah. That intro, I don't know if we took it from that, but that's kind of, you know, the intro, like the very beginning. He storms out the house, you know, he gets abducted by aliens, and the next thing goes into like this whole other thing. Yeah. That's good. And so then, but I thought like the rest of the album was going to kind of follow suit, but there was at least going to be like some follow-up skits or something, and it just was nothing. And I was like, oh, okay, well, that was.
But in the same way, I feel like, I don't know, I feel like Yelawolf was going for some kind of theme, and maybe we're just not seeing it. Maybe it's hidden. It's a different way.
It just seems really, well, like you said before, it just seems really open. You know what I mean? This is a really honest, very open album. You know what I mean? Yeah. It gets, well, one thing I really do love about Yelawolf is the fact that he has no problem talking about his roots. You know what I mean? He's talking about how he used to listen to AWOL MJG. You know what I mean? Still banging that in his trunk. And it's like, okay, yeah, that's cool. Now I see your influences. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's always helped me. You know,
and the fact that, you know, a lot of the, you know, the songs don't sound similar.
They're not the same songs. I'm very impressed with the way artistically this album came out. Yeah. Do I like the album? I can't say that I like it. I may not listen to it again.
But you appreciate it.
But I do appreciate it. And I appreciate his artistic vision. As far as what, you know, like, it's cool when an artist can give you multiple looks. Yeah. You know what I mean?
With the album that's 18 songs, there's definitely fillers on here. Stuff that I would get rid of. I think American You is one of them. I just really wasn't feeling that. And the Ball and Chain interlude didn't really serve any purpose
at all.
Devil in My Veins is really slow. It's very different, more, and I just didn't get into that.
One thing that I kind of questioned with Eminem being like an executive producer on this, right? We always know that artists talk about, you know, like a lot of songs that they did not making the album, right? And so one thing that I questioned was, okay, did he have a theme that he was going for that would have been easier to pick up on? You know, and did Eminem come and say, okay, we're not going that direction because you're a major label artist now. You're signed Interscope, so you're not gonna do it that way, right? If you look at the way that Eminem's last couple of albums have been going, there's a lot of different looks on there. They're not as centrally themed as, you know, as something like the Some Shady LP or the Marshall Mathers LP, right? Or even the Eminem Show, right? Yeah. They all had like a theme to them, and they were all glued together. Now, when we saw like, what was it, Relapse? Then you saw Recovery. Then you saw the Marshall Mathers LP2. Then it was like, okay, those weren't themed at all. No. They seemed like they were gonna have a theme, right? It was just with the title,
potential,
right? But then they didn't, and you just saw a lot of different looks. So did Eminem kind of have that influence on it? Was Eminem the person to say, we're not going to do that this way? You know what I mean? I see you have a theme, you want to go with that, but you know what I mean? It just didn't seem like it stuck to, I don't know. It was like the Eminem influence. That's what I wondered, because he is listed as an executive producer, and it is his label under Interscope.
Yeah.
So that was
naturally Eminem had, you know, influence in the project.
Of course, and involvement, and him as a white rapper, and not to like play the race card or nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like, I just kind of wonder like if that plays into the. Of course, it plays into the marketing. You know what I mean? But like, is there like an advantage there? You know what I mean? To having Eminem executive produce your album.
I don't think it means as much as it would have, like, you know, when D12 and Obi Trice were, you know, getting those looks on Shady.
Right.
It definitely doesn't. But I feel like with Eminem being the sole guest feature on the project on Best Friend, I feel like he killed that verse. I feel like Eminem overdoes it when he raps now.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I like that verse. I felt like it fit into what Yelawolf was going for, and I see why he kept it. Why, you know, I mean, he's gonna keep it anyway. It's Eminem, but I see why he was gonna do that, and I like the fact that he didn't rely on features. You know, he wanted.
And he's still with one producer for the most part.
Yeah, Will Power. Shout out Will Power, great producer. But I like the fact that like this is essentially Yelawolf's this is his story, his life, but it's not necessarily like from start to finish. It's just scattered. Like you got Disappear. He's talking, you know, to his dad.
I did like Disappear.
Yeah. Or Tennessee Love, you know, moving to Nashville, find love, do that stuff. Or moving to Nashville after you find love. I love that record. It really sounds like it has that potential to be a single.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Till It's Gone, which was on the Shady 15 compilation last year, it's already one of my favorite. It was my favorite moment from that Shady project. And I'm glad that he kept it.
It's crazy because there wasn't a lot of highlights from that album.
Yeah.
In that compilation.
Box Chevy 5, I'm surprised that's on there. That came out, man, a while ago. So,
if you were to rate the album, what would you give it?
I would definitely give it a strong 4.
Would you?
Yeah.
I was gonna say like 3.7. But 3.8, maybe. The reason I say that, I don't think it has a lot of good replay value. But I do appreciate what he did on the album. I appreciate the direction that he went. Or just, I mean, at least being able to give us different looks. Yeah. It might grow on me in time. The Drake album grew on me in time. Like a lot.
I definitely think it'll grow on you in time if you give it the chance.
Yeah, well, I mean, well, you know.
Because when I first listened to it, I didn't really get into it. But then I listened again and I'm like, dude,
you encouraged me to listen to it multiple times. And I was like, okay, cool, I'm going to listen to it. I mean, honestly, we're not just doing like a one take review, you know. So like, but the more I listened to it, the more questions I had. It wasn't like I liked it more. I just had more questions. You know, like, why didn't we stick to this thing? Or, you know, why didn't we stick to like a love story kind of thing?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or like, why wasn't? But I mean, that's up to the artist's interpretation of what they want to put out. So.
Right. And I feel like if we were able to ask Yelawolf these questions, you know, he'd have some kind of answer.
So we gotta wrap up.
Yes. So like the video, subscribe to the channel, follow us on Twitter at Sermons Domain. At
Evil Marsupials.
Let us know your comments about Yelawolf's love story down below.
Let us know your questions, because if you have the same questions as someone else, we'd love to know that people are thinking on that same wavelength.
Yeah, and we might try to answer those questions when we try to meet up with Yelawolf in a couple months.
There we go.
So yeah, and definitely go out and pick up Love Story. It's out now.
Definitely appreciate that man's artistry.
On iTunes, at your local Best Buy, Amazon, wherever. Thank you for watching.
We'll do an album too.